Sherman County Commissioners come to order. Public comment is open till 8:15.
Rod, while we're waiting, you want to hand the checks here and we'll start?
We've already done the flag salute and the...
Oh, you have?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
I think most of you know me, but my name's Patty Thompson, and I have a feeling people wonder why I'm always at commissioners' meetings or whatever. I just guess I would say that I was born here at the old Boothroyd Memorial Hospital 80 years ago. And I thought it was real interesting when we were talking to Centura about the doctors who wanted to deliver babies that we no longer needed in our hospital. And one of the things that Robinson said was, it's too dangerous to deliver babies. And I thought, after 80 years, it's too dangerous to deliver babies in the situation, in the newer hospitals we have. Anyway, that's one of the reasons. And the other reason is that I have down at the Smoky and on the veterans thing, I don't know how many people on both sides of my family that were veterans of World War II or have been in the service since then, including my husband. And so I feel like it's really important at this time for us to look at what's going on in our nation, because it feels to me like it's being taken over by another country. And it's frightening to me when I think it's maybe through the elections. Anyway, I just wanted to tell you that with everything that's gone on with all of you, I was really happy that you said that we could recount 100% of the paper ballots. I wasn't very happy that it seemed to be set up so that they would only go so far, and it would be like a spot check again, and then we would certify the election. Anyway, I was happy that you picked 3 Democrats and 3 Republicans, but I don't think that they ever planned to count 100%, as you, the commissioners, had said we would do, because one day seemed to be more than they wanted to do. I am happy that we can CORA things from the government. However, I was pretty unhappy that we've never received anything back from the Secretary of State telling us about the certification of our machines. Because from everything I gather, there isn't any certification of these machines. We have, I believe, the same machines as Johnson County and Cherokee County, where there are big things going on right now about what's happening there. Okay, here's the press release from Cherokee County. To ensure the integrity and accuracy of unofficial election results of the Kansas primary election, the Cherokee County Clerk's Office recently conducted a post-audit of election ballots cast. As a result of the audit, Cherokee County Clerk Rebecca Bressart discovered that the thumb drives improperly switched votes cast for incumbent District 1 County Commissioner Myra Frazier and attributed them to challenger Lance Nichols. The integrity of our elections is of the utmost importance to me and the team within the county clerk's office. Upon discovering the improper programming, I immediately contacted representatives of Atchison, Kansas-based Lakewood Elections, who is responsible for programming the thumb drives used in our elections. The company recognized their error, and my office has since retabulated the balance by a hand count audit, which resulted in Commissioner Fraser retaining her party's nomination for the November general election later this year. The commission race was the only one impacted by the company's error, and I have already visited with both candidates impacted, according to the county clerk, Rebecca Brassard. This is a good example of why we verify the accuracy of election results by conducting a post-audit of election results, regardless of what the unofficial election night numbers might indicate. I again want to assure the citizens of Cherokee County how important election accuracy is to me and reiterate my commitment to ensuring every valid vote is properly counted, concluded Brassard. That's from Cherokee County. And I also have a very short thing I would like to play, and I think it will, you will be able to hear it over this. And this is from Johnson County. Oops, wait a minute, where'd it go?
In 2002, Congress passed the Help America Vote Act. HAVA established the EAC. The EAC is the Election Assistance Commission, which was tasked with coming up with security measures for electronic and electromechanical voting systems, which are called BBSG 1.0. From 2005 to 2017, these were the standards by which our voting systems were to be certified. In 2017, they changed those standards to BBSG 2.0, at which point possession, acquisition, or use of those machines was illegal according to state and federal statute. Ed bought $10 million worth of those machines in 2018. In legal court requests to both Johnson County and the Secretary of State, the only certifications that have been provided to me say that they're certified to BBSG 1.0, which means that every single vote cast since at least 2017 in Johnson County has been illegal and unconstitutional, which means the outcome of those races is still in question. So the question is, you committed a crime by buying them, you've allowed them to continue to be used, and now you're going after the sheriff for looking into valid voter fraud claims. And why is this a big deal? Cherokee County, Kansas uses the same voting systems we do. They just discovered when the clerk put the thumb drive into the machine to retrieve the votes, it flipped the votes. It would not have been caught if not for a hand recount of the paper ballots. You did not allow us to do that on Saturday. We had to do photocopies of digital images of the ballots, which means there's no way to catch voter fraud because we know now that those images can be changed with a thumb drive. We know the outcome of an election can be changed with a thumb drive, but you won't let the sheriff view the log files, view the ballots, or actually do his job. And now you're trying to defund him. So the question is, what are you hiding? Because I just proved that every vote cast on Tuesday was illegal. And I have all the source documents. I provided them to all of you. So certify the election at your own peril, but you'd be committing a crime if you do.
Anyway, Johnson County and Cherokee County. So, you know, we had the people come in here from the machines and, assure us that there just couldn't possibly be any of it. But in her statement at one point, she also said, we know there couldn't be anything because we monitor the elections as they're happening. How's that possible if they aren't on the internet? Anyway, I just wanted you all to know that I have appreciated you giving us some things, but then not finishing them has made it harder for me to say I really believe that we know that our election, that there can't be any fraud with the machines. And I would like for you all to make a resolution that we can hand count the coming November election, paper ballots, and that we will have enough people lined up who know that it's going to take more than one day, and that they aren't already of the opinion or maybe even connected to some of the people running or sitting in your chairs. I just feel like for we the people, it's really very important that we get this election business straightened out. You know, that's the one thing that our founding fathers fought for us to have, that we as a nation could be free. I want to read you a little something. America Again. This was done by Carmen back when my kids were growing up, and it was a awesome song. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Samuel Adams, First Chief Justice John Jay, names synonymous with the spirit of our country. Founding fathers of the USA. Over 200 years ago, they shook off the chains of tyranny from Great Britain. By divine call, citing 27 biblical violations, they wrote the Declaration of Independence with liberty and justice for all. I'm just asking that you all really study the Constitution and get into this situation. I would like a resolution from you that you would allow us to count the coming November election paper ballots with enough people, not just 6 hand-picked people that are interested. Because I think there are a lot of people that understand that there have been election fraud all across this nation. And I think Kansas was one of the prime states they targeted because they want us to be like New York and California and be an abortion sanctuary state. That's my reason for being here all the time and for asking you to help us make sure that we have our constitutional republic intact in this county.
We got about 3 minutes left for public comment, yeah.
Hello, Bryn Quinzer. I would like to ask you, commissioners, to make a resolution that the 2020 election ballot votes that we have, have they been deleted yet, or do we still have them? I can't remember the date that they were going to be deleted or destroyed.
I think it was 20-some months and they had to, by statute. Is that correct?
22 months?
So, Ashley, have they been deleted?
What do you mean by deleted?
Like, are they archived for research, or are they?
We still have the paper ballots, but we do need to discuss the
Okay.
destruction of them, yes.
Okay. I would like a resolution that we keep all of those so that they can be saved and archived for research, so that we can go back and we can count. And there are very many people that are willing to count and to take the time, that they don't see it as that's 1 hour of your time that is lost. Because, you know, both my dads served. My grandfather served in World War II, and both my fathers served in the service. One of my dads had PTSD. I lived with that. I grew up with that. I know what he paid for. So to give 1 hour, to give 3 days to count ballots, I see that as a service to our country. To back up what my dad's saved for our country, for us to be able to have a free election, to have a fraud-free election. And we're going to stand behind it, and we're going to fight for it. We're not backing down. So if you think we're going away, we're not. I have a lot behind me that says, no, you will not. Your dad stood for this. They fought for this country. And I will not back down. I want a fraud-free election. I would like to go over some facts real quick. I believe that at one time, the Sherman County Commission Board and Ashley agreed to do a 100% audit of the August 2nd election of all the Kansas races. I believe Ashley handpicked the election audit committee, who was Ashley Stanley, Roberta Bretz, Jennifer House, Karen Gillihan, Jackie Shields, and Marcia Everett. For some reason, on audit day, a majority of all these women auditing decided that to do a 100% audit all the races and ballots was a waste of time. They can correct me if I'm wrong. I would like to know why was the election audit committee allowed? Well, you guys said that they were supposed to do this. So where do the rules lie that the audit committee had a right to say no, that they weren't going to count all of those? That they overruled the positions of power in upholding our constitutional rights to a fair, non-fraudulent election by counting those. Ashley, when you asked those people to count ballots, did you tell them that the goal was 100% audit? Were they told that? And so they had the power to overrule what you told them to not continue to vote or count ballots? How does that work? Why do we not have access, or where do we find these rules and regulations, and how do we keep accountable that which needs to be? Ashley is our election officer, if there's people that do not understand that and do not know that. I personally don't agree with it being a part of the clerk job also. I would like to see it split just because of the importance of the election office. But that is pretty much what I wanted to say. We're just really frustrated that this didn't get done, and for some reason, they didn't have to count those ballots for some reason, and maybe it was important to do that at this point in time. Maybe we need to go back and do it just to make sure that there's no fraud, because it's showing up in other counties. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else? Anyone else? All right. We're going to go ahead and sign checks.
Jennifer Arndt texted me this morning and said that the Sherman County Speedway would not be here for their appointment at 8:15.
Okay.
I was looking at like this check to Alex the Radiator for jail impound. How many impound lots does the county have? Well, so there's like a $450 check to Alex West for jail impoundment, I suppose, on a vehicle. How many impoundment lots do we have? Just the one?
That's a tow fee, not an impoundment.
Okay, so that's for them to
That's
tow,
what he charges.
to tow it into the, oh, okay. That's why I was wondering, 'cause I didn't think we had other impound lots, so that's just, all right, thank you.
I think you shorted me on the pile.
You're just getting better at it.
Well, there was a lot of papers there, but only 4 checks to sign.
Ashley, is this Motorola Solutions one for 341,000? Is that part of that ARPA?
Yes.
Okay.
Brett, did you have a chance to ask Charles about that roadway lot? Okay, very good.
was that one check you had, Rod? 200 and some thousand?
341,000.
Okay.
From Motorola.
That was for the radio stuff.
Mhm.
Okay.
Wonder what the offset is. I mean, it was supposed to be about 420,000, so we're just paying partial till they get everything installed.
I don't know if it's part that or part the repeater.
Oh,
If
okay.
this is just the radio part, I didn't
Okay.
ask Brian.
I'll make a motion. We pay the bills in the amount of $376,647.14.
I'll second that.
Been moved in second, we pay the bills. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed.
Can you roll that up a little bit?
That's it.
That's it.
So, the other new business is dates for a joint meeting. I was contacted by Kevin Cowan last Thursday or Friday saying that he would have bond documentation to us so we could review it with the 3 councils for the sales tax question. He said he would send it that day. I haven't seen it yet. So Kent is also asking the city commission at their meeting tonight what dates work for them. So we don't have it yet, but apparently we're supposed to have it any time now. So if you guys want to give dates that either work or don't work, and then after Kent gets some dates, then we can compare.
Okay.
I'm pretty well open.
Yeah. Are they talking like this month yet, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. Eric, did you find anything on tables for us yet?
We just have printouts of 2 possible solutions.
Only day that won't work for me is the 18th. Other than that,
18th, okay.
good to go.
Steve, did you have any?
I'm open.
Okay.
I'm good.
Did you have any?
As far as I know, I'm open.
Okay.
Here's a picture of what we can do. Well, the back, next picture shows a better layout. Have you got any costs back yet? Probably not. Okay. I like the square better than I do that U shape. Just when people come up to talk to you, they're more included in the situation.
Conversation.
Yep. That's my opinion. What's your thoughts, Rod?
Square is probably better.
Looks like it would fit in here real good.
Yep.
Guess depending on what the cost is.
Hmm?
Depending on what the cost would be. I'll find out that next. Go from there.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sure we can move that somewhere. What's in that, actually?
In the big one? I
Yeah.
don't think anything's in there.
Oh,
There used to be.
I'd be more in favor of the U shape.
you're in more in favor of that? Then what, face it out?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess when we get the costs of both of them, we can decide what we want to do then.
Can you pass those to Steve, please?
Oh, these are the minutes. I read through the minutes. Did you read
I
through
think
them?
it looked good.
Okay. Are they done chip sealing? Do you guys know?
As far as I know, there. I haven't seen any activity all of 24 My Way and A Street.
I figured they were. It don't take them very long, but I just wasn't sure if
No.
they were. I wonder if they were going to chip seal us out here by the airport. If they, I don't think they did because it's crack sealed it last year.
That's actually a printout from Cherokee County.
Okay.
They didn't sign it or put a letterhead on it or nothing. You go to the website, CherokeeCounty.gov.
Yeah, I seen it this morning. I looked at it.
Same exact machine.
Now, does the same people program the chip that does ours? I'm just sitting here wondering, how could it affect just one race?
Because the code, I can do anything with the software. If you give me the
Okay,
code, I
use the
can
microphone.
doctor it anyway. If I can have access to the code, they said in their briefing that there's 3 million lines of code in every machine. They test one beta machine extensively, but they never test our machine. They plug a thumb drive in there. How does your computer get infected? It used to be through thumb drives. Before we had internet popularity, then people shared information through thumb drives and you could spread a virus that way. All I need to do is have access to that code and I can make your computer do anything. I can change modes, I can change photographs. I mean, technology today, they can change people's faces. I mean, they can change a ballot automatically in a code. The code's simple. That's the easy part. Hard part is getting into the machine. And since we haven't been audited, officially audited, other than through the company that made the machine, who is starting to see, kind of look like they're for sale, they're making money somewhere. But this Cherokee County election clearly states it came through the thumb drive. So forget the fact that we possibly could have a cellular phone in our machine, and just look at the fact that we plug a thumb drive into it. And that company admitted there was a problem, the company that provides our thumb drive. So whoever money people pay, they get what they want. I've said all along, if you control the software, you control the election.
Wow.
Where is Cherokee County?
Southeast.
I can get east of here. It's southeast, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Far southeast.
It's where?
Far southeast.
Yeah. Does everybody get the thumb drives from the same place?
I have no idea.
They send it to you, though?
Yeah, it has to be their thumb drive, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I could see, you know, a state or a federal race, but one commission race. I mean, that's weird. That's weird.
Did they go back and hand count all the other races? I doubt it. It's kind of like what we did. Oh, we found an error, but we fixed it, and we found an error, it didn't matter. We found 2 errors in a small amount that we counted in our election. That should raise a flag in itself. We think it might be this, but we can't prove it because of manipulation of the machine. I mean, I'm not saying that happened, I'm saying it's possible.
Yeah.
The only way to verify is through hand ballot. The photos copy, it takes a picture of it. That can be changed. I can change anything with a computer.
Well, at least we know that the commissioner race was hand counted and it did match the machine, so that was a good thing.
That was one of many.
Right, but I'm saying, that was the one important race in this county everybody's wondering about, and it was hand counted and it matched the machine. So,
The question that I have is that our Secretary of State gathered all of the clerks together. I don't know, Ashley, did you go to some of those meetings? And what were you told in those meetings? All the election officers were brought together under the Secretary of State, and that we heard that there were several meetings that they were being told exactly what to do, how to do it. Do you have a comment?
We have a mandatory training that we have to attend every year at our May conference. I don't know what other meetings you're talking about.
And so the Secretary of State didn't say, don't audit, don't do this, don't do that?
He wasn't even there.
Okay. So there was nothing that was said that was according to the machines and the auditing?
No.
Okay.
Saying not to audit? No.
Yeah. And then what is the number, I'd like to also ask you, is what is the number of the people who actually voted? What is the actual number of people who voted in this last election?
In the
Do you-
primary?
Yes.
Uh, 1722.
Okay, thank you.
correct me if I'm wrong, Ash, but as far as the machines, I know some of the state meetings, there's always vendors there selling different types of machines. So you as election officer you decide what machine, like with the last time we purchased machines, you have that choice. You are not mandated by the state to pick a certain
Correct.
company.
Correct.
You have the choice to pick which machines. And how often do we purchase?
Once they are verified by they have to fit their criteria of testing and everything like that. Certification, yes.
Yeah, okay.
I don't see any problems.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes as written.
Do I move? Do I hear a second?
The minutes of August 8th.
One at a time?
I will second that.
Okay.
Been moved and seconded. Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed. Okay.
Brett, what do you got for us today?
2 items. The first, following, if you guys will recall, we had a right-of-way nuisance issue with Robert Bornman. He provided my office with before and after pictures, and I've spoken with Rod Roeder, and that issue has been resolved.
Very good.
The other item, at the last meeting, it was discussed, the yellow freight parcel of property down by the Holiday Inn. That was looked at several years ago, and essentially the way this lease is drafted, it's not necessarily county or city friendly. And the makeup of it essentially, it's an interlocal agreement. It's a lease between the county, the city, and I think the original lessor was Roadway Express, or lessee, excuse me. In that setup, it's essentially an interlocal agreement. And interlocal agreements have to be approved by the Attorney General's office. That wasn't done here, so that is an argument to void the lease. However, there's some case law or an AG's opinion that find that that is a technical failure and doesn't necessarily alter the validity of that agreement, especially given the fact that we've gone 25 years from the date it was first signed. It's kind of tough to go back now. The terms of the lease were for 25 years from 1992 with an option to extend for an additional 25 years to 2042. They provided the necessary notice in writing on time, so essentially we're locked into this lease until 2042. There's no provisions within that lease that require that they provide jobs, no requirement that they actually use the property, nothing like that. So when I say it's not city or county friendly, that's what I'm referencing to. And it's a $10 a year lease, and when they re-up the lease, they paid the $250
Right away. Okay.
So basically, we're stuck with it for another 25 years. But in all essence, I guess the better way to look at it is maybe by maintaining it, they have hopes of bringing some kind of a trucking thing in, maybe. I don't know.
That's one way to look at it, yes.
That's the only.
And like I say, there is a potential argument, but the strength of that argument, given the fact that it's been in existence for 25 years, weakens it significantly.
Yeah.
Has anybody actually sat down and visited with them though, and explained what are,
Not that
Well, that's what
not
needs-
that Charles recalled. He thought that either Jake or Jerry, whichever was the city attorney at the time, may have reached out, but he couldn't recall, and I haven't had the opportunity.
Yeah, I
to
mean,
talk
this
to
is the
him.
kind of thing that's getting shoved through the paperwork system, and maybe they'd be willing to back off of it.
Automatic payment.
Yeah, I mean,
They don't even know.
they don't even know it. They probably don't even know it exists.
One person might that wrote the check.
Yeah, and then don't
And
know
then-
what it was for.
Yeah.
So we can certainly do that, but I'm just telling you that's.
I
how the
would,
lease
I'd
sets
try
up.
to reach out to them and just explain it to them.
So who does the maintenance as far as the weed control and stuff out there, I wonder? Guess we should find that out, and because I've been by there, and the weeds grow up around it and stuff. If there's a problem, they may want to relinquish it if say the city or the county bills them for maintenance on it. They might say, well, if we're not using it, what's the point? I don't know. It just looks like a foolish waste of land out there that could possibly be developed into something.
Yeah, I'd sure talk to them. They can check their records and find out when it was actually used,
Okay.
If they don't need it anymore, we'll refund their lease money and.
Okay.
What else you got
drop
for us?
it down
Anything?
paper and clean it up.
Well, you're pretty easy to get along with today. Okay.
Did you guys not want to approve the other 2 sets of minutes? You said the 8th.
Yes, we do want to approve them. I didn't realize there was.
Sorry.
Yeah,
There's
three.
three because of the emergency meeting.
Did you want to look
on
at those, or
FEMA.
did you look
No,
at
I mean, I've looked at them all
Okay.
online, so,
those? Okay,
okay.
So you
sorry.
want to
that's okay. That's why.
amend your motion?
Yeah, I didn't say the dates, but for all
Yeah.
3 sets of minutes, I guess I should have said.
Okay. And you
And
second
it was
that, Rod?
requested that when we approve minutes, that we
Put the dates in.
put the dates on.
Yep, okay. So my
What?
amended motion
Oh.
includes those 3 dates.
August 8th, August 9th, August 10th.
There we go.
Okay.
And I will second.
Okay.
Okay,
The
now it's
amended
been moved.
motion.
And the amendment's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed,
Okay.
same sign. Motion passed.
Okay.
So now, our next meeting will be the 31st, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay?
Steve, did you want to talk about the county road bridge?
Yes.
Okay.
I talked to Rod Roder about the bridge on County Road 5, and he had talked to Jared DeBoer, our engineer, and he said he's going to put in for a grant with the state. There's no guarantee that it would be received or anything, but because it would cost us over $1 million to replace that bridge. So that you know, it's unfortunate for the patrons that use that thing for overweight trucks or heavy trucks. They'll have to use one of 2 other routes that do not go over that bridge. So
Well, I guarantee in fall harvest and in wheat harvest, semis go across that every day. The complaint come from a patron north of there. He doesn't want all the trucks from Chipperfield's Bends hauling by there. But Chipperfields do have the option of about 3 other roads they can take and avoid that bridge. So, but I don't see us, and I'll ask the sheriff, I don't see us enforcing that during fall harvest that no semi can cross that bridge. I mean, if we did that, there's all kinds of bridges in this county you couldn't cross with a semi. And people are gonna use them.
I don't know if you remember last year, the KHP brought out a team and brought out like 10 different truck inspectors.
Yep.
So and they did do that. So as far as the sheriff's office, we'll look at things that are questionable, but we won't go out looking for that. But on another note, I've had multiple requests that we can hear and hear, but on YouTube, they can barely hear. They have to turn everything up. Can we pump out the volume going out on
I can
YouTube?
look further into it. I have. When I've listened to it on my phone, I can hear it just fine.
Okay, but I've actually went back and listened some, and I've turned up all the volumes on my computer to where I can barely hear it, so.
I think on more of that bridge, if you remember last year, they talked about even grinding the asphalt off the top because that added weight to it.
right.
But I mean, you guys know that bridge. It's a good, solid bridge. It's basically a rival between a couple of farmers over the use of that road, what it amounts to. But
Yeah, because like you stated, there's bridges that should never have a loaded semi on them at all.
Well, so Gerald, when I visited with him, the engineer, he said, you know, what you could do is you could put up a stoplight in the one way, so only one semi at a time would ever be on that bridge. Then we could probably, but the odds of 2 semis, and one's gonna be empty anyhow, going the other way, of both meeting on that bridge are usually pretty, cause you gotta cross the railroad tracks right before that, and most of these truck drivers have enough courtesy, they don't try to meet right on a bridge together.
Right there.
So structurally, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's just how it was rated.
Yes. Yeah. It's not rated for a 2-lane for the weight of a 2 loaded semis.
Now, there was a conversation a long time ago about just derating the bridge, not posting a rating on it? Okay, but that wasn't legal, or what was the deal?
I can't remember what the,
I don't think that they wanted to derate it because then it took the liability. I'd have to check with Gerald.
Yeah, I remember
Something was with the liability if you.
I mean, it's like, yeah, we can do this and be okay, but then we
yeah.
couldn't.
There was a lot of discussion about it back then, I remember.
Have we ever looked at making it a single lane bridge?
Well, that's what we were just,
I mean, if you put a cone, or not cone, but a barrel on each side to where only one lane can go through, then.
that's what we're just discussing, that, you know, like Gerald said, you can put a stoplight and a single way, but holy cow. I mean, that's a lot of expense and like I say, most trucks are courteous enough.
Right.
I mean, they
won't meet anybody. They won't. I mean, I will never meet anybody on a truck.
Well, and it's
bridge.
like I was just saying, there's never 2 loaded semis, because one going that way is always going to be empty and the other is going to be loaded. I mean, so the odds of 2 loaded semis meeting on that are like slim to none, because the trucks coming this way are always loaded and the ones going that way are always empty. So it's just a technicality that's caused some grief. But like I say, if the patron north of there doesn't want those loaded trucks going over there, then the farmer north there's got the bins, can always pick an alternate route. And it won't change the mileage, it'll just change how many corners he turns. So in fact, those bins are actually in Cheyenne County. He could even go east out of there across, that'd be more dirt roads, but I mean, there's ways to get out of there without causing a problem on that bridge. So,
One would think.
anything else?
That's it.
Brett, nothing more? Okay, all right. Well, I guess if we are done, I will make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Been moved and seconded, we adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion is passed.